Hi, my name is Ryan Leake, author and speaker from Dallas, Texas, and the verse of the day is Psalms chapter 19, verse 14. It says this: May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. What I love about this verse is that David is inviting us to take inventory of two crucial areas of our life. The first one is external, the words of my mouth. I don't know about you, but the words of my mouth can often get me in trouble. I want you to pause just for a moment. Think back maybe over the last year of your life and ask yourself, what are the words that have been coming out of my mouth? What has been the subject of the majority of my conversations? What have I been saying to others? My prayer for you and for me is that the words that we speak to our spouses, our children, our friends, and our colleagues, that they would truly honor God. The second area that David desires to be pleasing in the sight of God is now internal, the meditation of my heart. We've moved from what everybody can see with the words of our mouth to what no one can see with the meditation of our heart. Only God can see that. So here's the question I want to ask you. What have you been thinking about nonstop? What's the thing that's been consuming your attention? Is it your appearance? Is it a relationship status? Is it your influence? Is it your career ambitions? What is it? The Hebrew word used here for meditation can take on a few different meanings, including whispers and in some cases plotting. The verse could almost be written, may the whispers of my heart be pleasing in your sight, or the plotting of my heart be pleasing in your sight. It's like David's going, I want every part of me from the inside out to be pleasing to you, God. May the things people can see be pleasing, but also the parts of me that no one can see, my yearnings, my plans, my plotting. Oh, Lord, when you look at those things, may you smile. This verse challenges us at our core. Now, here's the best part. David didn't say the words of his mouth or the meditation of his heart were pleasing in God's sight. He's just praying that it would be. And I think you and I should do the same. That's what I want you to think about today.
Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from God, and went to God, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. After that he poureth water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Jesus answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter saith unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus saith to him, He that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him, therefore said he, Ye are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garments, and was set down again, he said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. I speak not. Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb, standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his Father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a sound from heaven like the roar of rushing waters, and like a loud peal of thunder. The sound I heard was like that of harpists playing their harps, and they sang a new song before the throne, and before the 4 living creatures and the elders. No one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who did not defile themselves with women, for they remained virgins. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among mankind, and offered as firstfruits to God and the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouths. They are blameless. Then I saw another angel flying in mid-air, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water. A second angel followed and said, Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. A third angel followed them, and said in a loud voice, If anyone worships the beast and its image, and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever. There will be no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark of its name. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the people of God who keep his commands and remain faithful to Jesus. Then I heard a voice from heaven say, Write this, Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, they will rest from their labor, for their deeds will follow them. I looked, and there before me was a white cloud, and seated on the cloud was one like a son of man, with a crown of gold on his head, and a sharp sickle in his hand. Then another angel came out of the temple and called in a loud voice to him who was sitting on the cloud, Take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So he who was seated on the cloud swung his sickle over the earth, and the earth was harvested. Another angel came out of the temple in heaven, and he too had a sharp sickle. Still another angel who had charge of the fire came from the altar and called in a loud voice to him who had the sharp sickle, Take your sharp sickle and gather the clusters of grapes from the earth's vine, because its grapes are ripe. The angel swung his sickle on the earth, gathered its grapes, and threw them into the great winepress of God's wrath. They were trampled in the winepress outside the city, and blood flowed out of the press, rising as high as the horses' bridles, for a distance of 1,600 stadia.